Plan 9 from Outer Space. Now this is a bit of a classic. What? Don't you? Are you joking? Well, a cult classic. I'm guessing for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, pretty much. Let's get into it. Plan 9 from Outer Space is from 1957. It lasts about an hour and 18 minutes. And it's in black and white. Cool. Okay, cool this time, yeah. Yeah. So this movie has a reputation for being one of the worst movies ever made. But we're not putting it in the is this a bad movie category on this channel because, like I said, it is a cult classic and it's got a bit of a following and I feel like we should give it a fair shot. Right, you watched it. That was a fair shot and it's rubbish. Right, I wouldn't say it's rubbish. It has got a certain charm about it. It's fun. It's none of these things. It is. So the movie opens with a narrator telling us all about this story about aliens. So we see a funeral taking place, and then we see a spaceship on a piece of string. Throughout this movie, you'll see spaceships on string. You'll see people with their back to the camera because they're not the real actor. You'll see gravestones waddling about. You'll see sets moving around. You'll see a guy pointing a gun at himself just to annoy the director. Anyway,
he's not wrong.
Basically, Plan 9 from Outer Space is for the aliens to wake up dead people and control them using some control ray and make them do their bidding. Their evil bidding, which isn't actually evil, they just want to stop humans from destroying each other and the earth. Fine, I'm with them. Now, the man whose funeral it is known throughout the movie as Ghoul Man. It's actually Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi, famously known as Dracula and in other horror roles. Well, once the funeral clears out, the grave diggers come and, finish burying the body, and then Vampira,
who is dead,
attacks them. We don't see it, we just hear a scream, and then later, Inspector Clay, along with his small police force, investigate the grave diggers' deaths. We see their bodies. He sees a spaceship land. He heads over towards it, but Vampira and Bela Lugosi,
dead, both,
cut him off and kill him. Yes.
Is he dead? Yeah.
Meanwhile, we see Jeff and Paula. Jeff is a pilot who, at the start of the movie, saw one of these spacecrafts. He's sitting talking about it on his porch with his wife Paula, and then the same shit just flies past their house. Yes, a bit of a coincidence that. Shuddish. Now it is Clay's funeral. A lot of this now takes place in a graveyard. I'm guessing that's the only set they had. Pretty much a graveyard and a blank screen, because later on we'll see an army general commanding his forces shoot down the spaceships and he's standing in front of a blank screen. We'll see a police officer giving orders, he's standing in front of a blank screen. And when you do see the armed forces firing their weapons, that it's all stock footage. It is. Anyway, now that Clay is dead, Lieutenant Harper is in charge of this police force, so they go to investigate Clay's death after his funeral. He doesn't do much investigating, well, not at this point. But then we get to meet the aliens. On board the mothership, we meet Eros and the other aliens, and they're just humans. They're not even get anything in their head or anything crazy they're wearing. They're just wearing like fancy shirts. Well, and they discussed Plan 9, and the leader says, yes, resurrecting the dead. Very good, carry on. Because they want to use these dead bodies to infiltrate the living and start nuclear weapons, like I said. But they could just do it. They look exactly like humans. They could walk among us undetected, I suppose. Anyway, back on Earth, Jeff heads back to work. He says, Paula, I don't like leaving you on your own, but I have to go back to work. Paula says she'll be fine, even though they live a stone's throw from the graveyard. Why did they die a house there? I don't know. So he heads out. It's daytime, and also at daytime, the dead man rises from his grave. Bela Lugosi, yeah, he's back. He's just standing in the graveyard. And then he just walks into Tola's house. But by the time he gets there, even though it's across the road, it's night time. Anyway, and you don't see his face. The actor here has his face covered because by this point Bela Lugosi had died before filming was complete. So the director, Ed Wood, had just filmed a few shots of Bela Lugosi dressed in his vampire cloak, walking about like a zombie without really knowing what the movie was going to be in the end. It was going to be terrible. No, right. For a lot of this movie, when you see Bela Lugosi and he's covered in his face, it's not Bela Lugosi. Just scrap the whole thing.
That's not a bad idea.
So Bela Lugosi chases Paula to the graveyard where Vampira and Inspector Clay is also back from the dead. They all descend upon her. A car driving past sees what's going on and decides, oh, I better pick her up. So she's saved. And Bela Lugosi basically silently goes, curses. He gives them the notion that he's not happy and then just walks off. And then we get, meanwhile, inside the Pentagon.
But meanwhile, at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, we see a little scene of two Army generals and they're listening to a recording they got from aliens years ago. And it's basically the aliens saying, we just want to help mankind, we don't want you to destroy the Earth, we don't want you to destroy yourselves. And their response is basically, let's kill them. Yeah, pretty much.
Just the American way.
Meanwhile, the aliens are devising their own plan. They take Bela Lugosi, who's under their control, send them back to Paula's house when Jeff and some of the cops are there, and switch off their control ray and let him just decompose in front of their eyes. Meanwhile, they'll steal more bodies to reanimate. How is this helping any of their cause? I don't know, but apparently this is what they want to do. So Bela Lugosi goes back to Paula's house. Everyone's there. He collapses, and then the tool deck is Kate, and he's just a plastic skeleton. Right, like I said, this movie has got a certain charm. It certainly does not. So they all go back to the graveyard. The men run to the spaceship, and they're instantly allowed on board. No hesitation or fight to get in.
Come on in.
Meanwhile, one of the young cops stays with Paula, and then Clay attacks that young cop, just knocks him out, and then picks up Paula. Yeah, so the aliens turn on a TV and they're sitting there like, look, Jeff, there's Paula, your wife. Clay's got her. She just fainted, she's fine. That if you want, we can tell him to kill her. So there's a bit of a fight back and forth. Yeah, to be fair, the aliens do try to explain what they want. Yeah, and the Earthlings just instantly and completely and constantly insult them. Hear them out. You're the one with the guns. Just ranting insults at these two creatures. So like I said, there's a fight, a fire breaks out on board. The humans manage to escape. They also destroy the device that controls the dead humans. So Clay collapses to the ground, becomes a skeleton. The guys get back out of the ship and they find Julia. Yeah, and she instantly wakes up. She's like, oh, I'm fine. What? So our team on the ground are all fine and healthy and safe. The spaceship flies away on fire, by the way. It's flying away on fire. It gets so far and then explodes, killing all on board. Yeah. And then we come back to the narrator. The narrator tells us, do not laugh at these aliens because we will meet them in the future. And then he says, God help us in the future. And that's the end. That is the end of Plan 9 from Outer Space. So, what do you think? It's rubbish? It's got, I keep saying it, I know, but it's got a certain charm. It's got something about it. It's terrible. It's like, take the worst episode of the Twilight Zone, right, and double how bad that is. And it's still 10 times better than this, just because it's got the title of Twilight Zone. Like, I enjoyed watching this. You enjoyed it? I wouldn't say I enjoyed the movie, but I had fun watching it. Right, fine. Any trivia? Yes. So, as I said, Bela Lugosi died during filming. Okay. So, the person playing his part for the rest of the movie is the director's wife's chiropractor. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, the cop that keeps pointing a gun at himself. He was doing it to see if Ed Wood, the director, would even notice. He did not. Okay. Any more? Yeah, Vantira, she refused to have any lines in the movie because she thought the movie was so bad, she just took the money and just played a silent role. Even she knew. Well, that's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Let us know what you think of it. Is it, am I right? Is it a charming classic? Or am I right? Is it rubbish? Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. God help us in the future.